Good evening, Starlights, and welcome to the Degeneration Podcast. Ray, the podcast for the degenerate generation. Here with me is my charming co-host, Mandato. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, that
Hello.
is me.
Hello. Yeah, as you can see, podcast title's a little bit different, and we're in a new place. But before we get into all of that, we're just gonna zoom in a little bit here. And how you doing, Mandato? How you doing?
I am overall doing pretty well, I'd say.
Pretty good.
Pretty fine.
It's good to hear. Yeah, so talking a little bit about the new setup and what's going to be happening with this podcast before we get into reintroductions. Just talking a little bit about ourselves and who we are, getting you guys back introduced to the podcast here. So, as you can see, we have a very nice looking background here, which was done by, oh geez, I'm going to go back and I'm going to figure out who it is. Mini 3D. Here we go. Yeah, so Mini 3D is still on Twitter. So if you need commissions, go ahead and check him out. But he made this brilliant looking background as well as our new table and this lovely couch for some guests that we will definitely be having. As well, you can see the TV in the background. We'll be having stuff running on that while we're talking in some of these segments. But let's zoom back in. And we have stuff like that set up now. So, as well, in the setup that we are going to be reintroducing this podcast, doing a rebirth kind of thing. And this will be the first episode of that, as well as the podcast has its own channel now. As its own channel, it's going to be episodes on there every other Sunday, my bad. And the podcast will run live every Thursday. I'll try to keep that consistent. I know I'm really bad with consistency, but we'll try to get that out. As well as, and what I'm the most excited for, we're on Spotify now. That post will definitely be live. I'll definitely get that up there and get that out to you guys once we actually have an episode out. But yeah, how you feeling about everything, Mandato?
Overall, the rebranding is nice. I like that we're in an office now.
Yeah, we're in like a Jimmy Fallon type background.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We have a couch.
We're in an actual background. We're in an actual studio.
We can act as therapists here. Our
oh god.
guests can probably lay down on the couch and we'll give them the Freudian slip.
I feel like the Freudian slip sounds like a sex thing. Oh god.
That's because it is.
It's a Freudian slip.
That's because it is, always.
God.
Well, at least that's what Freud thought. What a weirdo.
I feel like we need more therapy than anyone we're going to have on this podcast, let me tell you.
Nah.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, what have you been up to? Before we get into reintroduction.
Well, recently I have been kind of busy. The normal stuff. Just busy with work, mostly.
Yeah, it's same, honestly. Oh my god, I could go way into that, but not here. I won't get into all that. Earth work sucks. But anyways, I believe we'll just get straight into introductions for the people who are new, essentially. Little introductions for people that are new, talking about maybe some of the things that people don't know about us, new viewers, new listeners, and old listeners who tuned in to like maybe episode 80 of this podcast and still has no idea what's going on,
Yeah, but I guess we kind of did a Tokyo Ghoul Re here.
We really did. You start at Tokyo Ghoul Ray and you just have no fucking clue what's going on because you started in the middle of season 2.
Yeah, who's this weird random guy? I thought it was about Kaneki.
Yeah, for real. I love how they don't explain a single fucking thing that's going on.
Well, they don't do it in the manga either. Don't worry, I've read through.
Oh yeah, I know. I know you've read it. It's as disconnected as it is in the anime?
Kinda, yeah.
Oh God.
We were
We'll get
just kind of
into.
reintroduced into him, and he's someone.
Oh God. Okay. Well, we will do a better job than that. Then we'll try
We
to
get
do a better
hints, but
job.
yeah.
Yeah. But we'll talk more about anime later. Right now, I'll introduce myself, and then I'll have Mandato here introduce himself as well. I am Diz author, your omniversal author of fate, your multiversal deity of creation and destruction, whatever you'd like to call me. Degen deity went around for a while, that as well. But yeah, and I am the main host of the podcast. So you will always see my face here. And you will 99.9% of the time see Mandato's face here because I'm bad at bouncing off myself. Anyways, Mandato, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, hello. Um, Mondato the Arbiter. I am a psychopomp. I don't really want to get too much into it. Not yet. But it's most of the stuff that keeps me busy, I guess.
Of course, there's riding afoot.
Well,
There's riding
people keep
afoot.
dying.
Of course, of course. But yeah, getting into the next topic, just, you know, light amount of lore. I don't want to do a lore dump because everyone knows that I could be here for the next like 5 hours just lore dumping. Hey, you want to hear the entire simple plot of the Wandering Spirits? I bet you do. I bet you want me to sit here for 4 hours while I go through it. No, no, I'm never gonna go through that. I'm never gonna
Mm-hmm.
do that. But either way, favorite foods. Let's talk about food for a bit. Let's talk about
Okay.
food. So, my favorite food is pizza. I'm a basic bitch. I like pizza. I like pizza with sausage and pepperoni, or just pepperoni.
Yep.
Maybe bacon, maybe baked, maybe stuffed cheese. But I'm very basic when it comes to that. I don't like
Yeah, no.
Hawaiian. I don't like Hawaiian. Keep your pineapples off of my pizza. It's not even a sweet and savory thing. It's just that it's pizza.
Pineapple on pizza is good.
No,
Yeah, it is.
no, no, no.
I want you
You're
to cook
playing
harder.
you're playing devil's advocate. You're playing devil's advocate.
No,
Advocate.
actually, I legitimately think that pineapple.
Oh God.
I mean, I wouldn't order it myself, but I wouldn't turn down a slice.
What do you mean you wouldn't order it yourself?
I mean, okay. Well, I
What's
have a
this?
question.
This is the Degeneration podcast, the podcast for the degenerate generation. And
Yes.
it
Hello.
is it is a live talk show host or talk show ugh, a live talk show as well as podcast.
Indeed. So, I don't know. If you really think about it, if you have something like just the Hawaiian style, so the grilled pineapple and ham, I honestly think it's fine. I think you're overreacting.
Is it though?
It's
As a
fine.
person who has had to have a few slices of pineapple and whole and Hawaiian pizza in my life because my dad's a weirdo who
So
likes Hawaiian
you're
pizza. It's gross.
I I'm sorry, you're arguing with anecdotal evidence for
Yeah.
the
Yeah, I am. What are you gonna do
no no
about
no
it?
no no.
You gonna take me to court?
I'm not saying you're wrong, of course. That's the best way to do this.
I'm
Just
saying
like
you're wrong.
what you can. You
Yeah, I
can't do
can.
that.
Yeah, I can. I
We
I
both
just I just did it.
we both have anecdotes.
No.
Okay. Well, you know what?
No, you're
I
wrong.
wasn't prepared for the response, so
That's
I
true.
guess I have
You
to
gotta be
concede.
ready for anything.
No, you're right. Anyway, as for my favorite food, it's pretty simple. Um, Meat pies are amazing. If you've ever had a proper meat pie, then you know.
I don't think I've ever had a proper meat pie, but you know, is pot pie the same thing?
Nope, not at all.
All right, then I've never had a proper meat pie.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Chicken pot
I'm
pie is okay.
I'm Midwestern. I'm not Southern, so.
Yeah. Well, sorry. But yeah, chicken pot pie is okay. But where it's at really is shepherd's pie and meat. Shepherd's
Gotcha.
pie for people who don't know how to make a meat pie because it's kind of harder to fuck up a shepherd's pie.
I feel like I've had shepherd's pie before, but I honestly can't remember. I think I liked it.
It's really simple. It's basically just well, centrally it's a lot of seasoning, definitely,
Mm.
but it's potatoes, mashed potatoes.
I feel like any
Um,
good dish has a lot of seasoning.
that's true. It is peas are optional, but often included. Sometimes carrots, though that's not as frequent, but definitely soft if you do include them. And additionally, it's just like a large amount of specifically those potatoes and ground beef and seasoned like really well.
God, I you said soft carrot, and I just thought about ugh. You ever having like a soup or something,
Hmm.
and they don't soften the carrots, so you're having your like soup, you have your soft chicken and your like soft potatoes, and you
Bite
randomly out of
into a carrot.
nowhere bite into a hard carrot slice.
Yeah,
That's the
it's
fucking worst.
yeah.
It's it's the worst.
I don't know. Some people like the texture. It's wrong.
I mean,
No,
if I
the
have like,
correct.
I was about to say if I have hard potato, well, potatoes should never be hard, so never
Yeah,
mind. I don't know.
but I don't know. I guess it's partially the whole Cajun origins thing, but meat pies are just delicious,
Hmm.
and shepherd's pies are a pretty close second,
God, I need to
since
get
they're a
one.
little bit harder to mess up.
Next time I go down to the south, I need to get some meat
Mhm.
pie.
Hey, you have like a okay spice tolerance, right?
Spice top? Well, yes,
Okay, it should be fine then.
yeah. Um, for reference, I think the spiciest thing I've ever had, like if we're talking about just pure spice levels,
Hmm.
I have had oh, what was it? Was it scorpion pepper sauce? I think that was it. I think it was scorpion pepper. That was dangerous. That was
Yeah, I did the
dangerous.
I did the
But
stupid fucking chip whatever because my
oh, the one
coworker.
chip
Yeah.
challenge?
Hmm.
Oh no. That's scorpion, I think. I think that is
Uh,
scorpion.
well, it was
Or
horrible.
either scorpion or reaper. I think they put both in those. I
Hmm.
think they generally put like both in sauces and stuff, but holy shit, yeah. That that sucks. It's dry too. And it's like a whole ass chip. It's not even just
Yep.
like a
No, I ate
dab
the
on
whole
a
thing.
toothpick. Oh
I
my
ate the
god.
whole thing.
Yeah. Honestly, my thing is that
It was horrible.
I look, this human form is Mexican and Puerto Rican. I don't like jalapenos. I don't like the taste of jalapenos.
Not even stuffed jalapenos?
No, not at all. I hate those.
Aw, they're good.
Yeah, I hate those.
No,
Honestly,
no, you're just a
the
hater.
flavor of Western spice,
Mm,
as in like jalapeno, simple poblano, and whatever, I don't like the flavor. The flavor of Eastern spice, because they use a lot more like chili,
mm.
is better. Like chili and habanero stuff. It's better. IMO.
Okay. Well,
I like it a lot better.
maybe you're more Spanish than Mexican
Yeah. I'm feeling it, yeah.
then. Anyway, um, yeah, I don't know. There's just something about a good meat pie,
Hmm.
with that right level of spice. Oh, now I'm hungry.
Oh
I just
god, me
ate
too.
too.
Yeah, same. I
Oh
just
well,
had some
let's move
pizza
on to
actually,
something
funnily
else.
enough. All right, favorite color. Something basic, but like I feel like there's a lot of discussion, especially me being an artist and all, and me doing a lot of art adjacent things,
Hmm.
there's a lot to be discussed with when it comes to color. My favorite color is blue. What about you? It's
My favorite color is
my favorite
blue.
color is blue.
Thank
If you
you.
disagree, I'm gonna kill you.
No, that's real though.
That's
My
so
favorite
real.
primary color is easily purple. My favorite secondary color is gold.
Fair, honestly. Fair, honestly.
Um, there can be good purple accents, but I feel it's better as a primary, and there can be good gold primary, but it's hard most of the time. Just go for a secondary accent, please.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. God.
Together,
I,
they're really good, but a little overplayed. But separately, they're very good as well.
yeah, it definitely depends. You need to be really styled and like very specific when you select gold and purple for things. Because I feel like gold and purple by themselves, like together, is really tacky. But when you do it with like say mixing black and white and using them as accents rather than the main colors.
No, I think a purple suit, a dark purple suit, with
Mm-hmm.
a white shirt and a gold tie is perfect.
You could definitely make it work. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I could make it work. You're right.
I agree.
Specifically me.
All right, all right. Pull up, pull up. Let's see what you got.
Okay. Okay, sometime soon.
We're gonna edit your image to be purple.
Yeah, just
I
go
could
into
easily do
Photoshop,
that actually.
fill
All right, I'll
purple.
do that. You know, next podcast episode, you're showing up in purple,
It depends on the shade,
motherfucker.
but it works.
Yeah, like a dark, deep purple.
Definitely.
Yeah, I like blue. It's pretty basic, but like, there's so many different like shades of blue that are all like, if you really mix them well, it comes out so pretty. And I've got a blue shirt, blue eye. I've got, blue background. Even the sky behind us is blue. It's like a
hmm
really like pretty gradient. As well, you get like there's so many things that are like blue as like an aesthetic. You get
No, I get that.
space, you get the ocean, and things people fucking hate.
Yep.
There's a
No, I
lot
get
of
it.
things people hate that are blue, which is surprising and funny. I guess hating the ocean, hating space is not really that surprising. But no, I mean, my character is pretty on the nose with that aesthetic, so.
hmm
hmm
That's
And
fair.
then gold. Honestly, the color gold has been a recent addition to my likes because like when I was growing up, I didn't really like gold.
Really.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, I was more of a silver guy. But that's also because I was edgy as fuck.
Ah, gonna
God,
cut my life into pieces. This is
this
my
is my
last
last
resort.
resort. Yeah. But yeah, no, I've always liked blue.
Definitely.
All right,
So,
getting
next.
into video games, our favorite video games. I'll let you go first this time. You can start.
Sure.
Yeah,
For
I know
my
you have a
favorite
few of
video
them.
games, the DMC series as a whole is my favorite series, and Dishonored is my favorite.
I know you flip around a few games when it comes to your favorite game.
Yeah,
So,
I guess you could say Dishonored slash Cyberpunk,
hmm
though there are a lot more problems with Cyberpunk than Dishonored, in my personal opinion. But it's
yeah,
just as a whole,
it is what it is.
it is what it is. The DMC series has not always been the best, but
The remake.
oh, I didn't know that they did a remake.
Oh, you should check it out sometime.
Yeah, I'll check it out sometime. I'll add it
Yeah,
to
check it
the
out sometime.
I'll add it to the list.
Oh
But
God, no! Don't add it to the list.
anyway,
Okay,
no.
wait.
Hmm.
I did have another thing. Arana said the remake wasn't that bad, and she didn't know what people were talking about.
Well, Arana's not
Uh,
always
about that.
yeah.
About
Arana's not always correct,
that.
and that's okay. She doesn't always need to be.
That is true. That is true.
Anyway, as for yeah, I don't know. The DMC series was just a great experience as a whole, and Dishonored. I think Dishonored is my favorite game that I had. time playing it, I think I've grown enough to recognize that. I think
Hmm.
if you were to actually sit me down and force me to play through Dishonored and then Cyberpunk, I would probably say that I enjoy. I think that I have grown enough to recognize that Dishonored is probably my favorite game, not because it's my favorite game, but favorite experience that I've had with a game. And Cyberpunk is probably actually my favorite game if I were forced to play both
Gotcha.
or
All right.
replay both of them.
Yeah, if you had to play them like over and over and over and over
No, no,
again.
no. If I just had to play them now, right now,
Ah,
once
okay.
again.
So it's more of like a where you were at the time kind of thing.
Well, I think a lot of people's favorites, they have to reflect on them and see whether they favorite because that is their current favorite, or because when they had first experienced it, it was their favorite memory of that time, or
Gotcha.
favorite experience of that time with that sort of property, right? Dishonored the first time that I experienced, but if I were to go back now, I think likely I wouldn't think that it's as good as Cyberpunk, or rather, I wouldn't have as much fun.
That is fair. That is fair.
I would still think it's a good game.
Yeah. Honestly,
Um,
I have a
yeah.
similar situation with that. With the games that I enjoy and are close to my favorites. I would say obviously my favorite video game right now is Elden Ring.
Who would have
It
guessed?
to anyone who watches my streams, that should not be a surprising fact or surprising factoid. You should not be surprised by that whatsoever. I have almost 900 hours in the game, and I've done multiple challenge runs and modded runs. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it also kicked off me playing every single FromSoft game, which I'm almost finished with Sekiro. So there's that. But yes, obviously my favorite game right now is Elden Ring. It hasn't brought my channel a lot of growth, and I could tell that it's my favorite game because I don't care. Because I haven't cared. I've played it because I love that game.
That's fair.
Yeah. But what you were talking about, when it comes to games, if I had to reflect back on the time that I played the games, like really bring nostalgia into it, it would be Halo Reach. Just because of the just where I was in my life and everything. I think my favorite memory of Halo Reach was me playing it over at my grandma's house back when she was alive.
Right.
And it was me and a bunch of our cousins just hanging out, playing that, and just being there at her house. And
I guess.
not only that, but just like the amount of time I spent on that game and the amount of the amount it kind of brought me and my cousins together
Mm-hmm.
is, I'd say, why that's my favorite game. But
I
I
understand that.
still think I like Elden Ring better in general. But yeah, what if you had to say what is your least favorite game? I know this isn't a question that I told you to prepare, but if you had to say on the spot right now, what is your least favorite game?
What is my least favorite game of
Yeah,
all
what's your
time?
most hated game of all time?
Huh. Um. Hmm.
I
Are
already
you
know
asking?
mine.
Are you asking which is the worst that I've ever played or most hated?
Most hated. Like it could still be a good game, you just fucking despise it.
Okay. I mean, if you want me to answer that legitimately, it's probably League of Legends.
That's honestly not a shocking answer. Honestly, not a shocking answer.
League of Legends. Thumbs up.
I mean, okay, so recently you have told me that you realized that the reason that you hated League of Legends was because of the people that you played it with, not
That's a part of it.
so much so the game itself.
I
And you
still
said you
think
had been considering going back and playing it.
correct, and I think I am still considering it. I want to see whether or not for myself I enjoy the game or if I hated it all this time because of negative experiences I had.
Gotcha. Yeah. I've had a similar dissolution with League of Legends, though I more know that I used to enjoy the game. I don't enjoy the game as much anymore.
Mhm.
I think I mostly enjoyed the game because I liked seeing people upset and I liked making people upset.
Well, you were a little shit, huh?
I played Teemo for
Oh yeah,
most
I
of my
guess
play.
so.
I played Teemo and Yasuo for most of my gameplay experience. So yeah, I knew that going
I
in. I
mean, I
also
played
played
Samira
Azir.
because I enjoyed being a protagonist.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly. Got it.
It's the best way to describe it. That's the gameplay.
That's fair. That's fair.
Everyone else sets you up and you knock them all down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I tried playing ADC a lot. and I was okay at it. But like the whole like
ADC was my best role easily.
feeling like you're carrying the team on your back and actually being able to carry the team on your back are two completely different things.
That's true.
You cannot carry the team on your back as an ADC.
Correct.
I think the reason I played mostly jungle and top was because you actually could, if
Yeah,
you were good enough,
no,
and if
I'd
the
agree.
stars aligned enough.
I
But
think the
yeah.
reason that I didn't play those two roles was because I wasn't competent enough to play with the people that were at our level, or rather that we were playing with, which were diamond or platinum or something, and I was like not as experienced.
Yeah, that's why I ended up
And
falling into support a lot of the time as well.
mhm. And because ADC, while being a very important role, is actually a little bit safer for less experienced people,
Hmm.
I ended up playing a lot of it. Additionally, because I loved the character. Like I didn't hate playing the role.
Yeah, yeah. I hated the amount of stress it took to play jungle, even though
That's
I
fair.
loved playing jungle.
I think now you would probably enjoy it if you went back and we played with other people.
Maybe. I think also if I had more time. I
That's
feel
fair.
like I don't have enough time because League is such a time sink.
It's like anywhere between 25 to, I don't know, 50 minutes a game.
Yeah, it's just such a massive time sink, and I feel like I'd rather play other games now.
Hmm.
So
That's fair.
now, speaking of experiences, you know my least favorite game? Now, it's
Go
not
ahead.
even just a bad game. It's just one, overhyped, obviously, but two, it's just the fucking people who I associate with this game are just the worst people.
Okay.
Phasmophobia.
Oh,
And you know who I'm talking about when I say the worst people.
yeah, I
You know
do.
exactly who I'm talking about. And it's like the same kind of person every single time who is always asking people to play Phasmophobia with them. And
Yeah,
I don't know how I keep running into these people. God.
it's
It's either Phasmophobia or like fucking Final Fantasy 14. Like
oh
that's the
no,
two.
Final Fantasy 14. Oh, that's the RPG one
The MMO.
or MMO,
Yeah.
right, right, right. I okay,
The
good.
same fucking
I was
people.
thinking about playing Final Fantasy 15, so that
Yeah,
I'm
15
safe.
is like an actual story game, I'm pretty
I'm
sure.
safe. Okay.
Yeah. It's like an actual Final
It
Fantasy game
yes, it is.
rather than an MMO
You would
made
be
on the
correct.
same engine. But no, like Phasmophobia, more specifically, in more cases, I don't know what it is about the game. It just attracts the worst people. And I'm sorry in chat if you like Phasmophobia. You're probably okay, actually. Great. A lot of the player base for Phasmophobia is honestly not that bad. It was just very specific people who were very loud. And also, the craziest thing is that like Phasmophobia and Lethal Company, you would think would attract the same kinds of people, but they don't.
Yeah,
It's so weird.
I don't know.
I think because
Oh well,
Lethal Company is harder.
it's perhaps that reason. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
I'd say more unfair.
Yeah, definitely. Because like Phasmophobia, it'll be like, okay, well, I saw this coming, and I was messing around, so I got fucked. Whatever. In Lethal Company, it'd be like, oh, the 5 million mile per hour creature, ran into me and
Oh, I see.
punched me
So
in the
I'm forced to
face.
play DDR now. Well, all
Yeah.
right. Sorry, guys. I'm.
Oh, I have to take care of a child.
Yep.
What? I'm a parent now. Yeah, Lethal Company is wild.
Me when I'm a parenting vlogger.
You don't pay attention to your baby for 2 seconds, so it turns into a one-shotting man-eating monster.
For real.
Well,
Anyway.
anyways, next on the docket here, and this is one I always I feel like I always have to justify myself. Favorite anime. Now, I'll
Okay.
also let you go first on this one because I feel like I always have to justify myself when I say my
It's not really a
when I
toss
say
up
mine.
between the two. I'd say that Mob Psycho definitely takes the cake. But I'd also like to mention Ray Zero as well, because both of them hold a very special, entirely different.
Oh yeah.
I could talk about them for a while, if
Hmm.
need be.
Give us like a short summary, very short, very short summary of Ray Zero and or not Ray Zero. A first
Mob Psycho.
Mob Psycho, first Mob Psycho, and then Ray Zero. Very short explanation.
Sure. Of the show itself?
Yes.
Okay. For Mob Psycho, Mob is a psychic kid who has problems keeping his power under, and as such, he needs to suppress his emotions. So he is a middle schooler who is kind of calm in a kind of boring way. But he's a really good kid, and he is being taken advantage of by a con man. Little
Yeah.
stinker.
Additional context as well. This is a one anime, so creator of One Punch Man. So
Ergo, the
it's a
original
comedy
artwork
anime.
is him
Oh yeah.
trying his best.
I
But
love
the
One Strong
story
so much.
the story is fantastic, which is
Hmm.
why it was adopted into something more, despite the fact that one is trying his hardest. And we should all be appreciative of the fact that there are, and that we can identify them as people,
Yeah.
because he tried very hard to make them look like people.
Yeah, I don't think it happens as much in Mob Psycho, but if you ever watch One Punch Man and you see a comedy bit where like the character will turn into a really, really low quality version of them, that's One Strong's.
Yeah, actually, it does happen in Mob Psycho, just not as often, yes.
Oh, okay.
If you want to see Mob drawn by one, let me go ahead and give you some Mob.
Oh yeah, you can post in the podcast chat. Oh
Indeed.
god, we were talking about Oshinoko. Oh god.
What's like a good? Oh, well, first,
God, I forgot how
here is a
fucking
good.
insane Oshinoko is. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
Oshinoko. I could go over that for
Oh,
if need
please,
be.
please no.
But
We don't
here,
have enough time.
Oshinoko is. I mean, that's not. This isn't technically correct. This is that like tree isn't correct, by the way.
Yeah, I think that is something we mentioned
No,
when we talked about it last time.
I don't.
But it's not as far off as you would think. I
No, it's
think
entirely.
that's is it?
Yeah.
Huh.
This implies that one gives birth to twins, and the twins give birth, and we just keep going in like a loop, which is not even a little true.
I see. All right. Well,
Um,
we can explain that on another
Different day.
episode or something.
So
Yeah, different
that
day.
for one is Tatsumaki, by the way. If you want to see what Tatsumaki looks like.
Anyone, if you're in the author's lounge, which is my Discord, actually, speaking of, for anyone who is in chat right now, I will send a link, and you guys can fight amongst yourselves on that for that link. It's only one. You only get one. You better be careful.
But if you need to see Reigen Arataka,
Oh yeah, let's see it.
there is Reigen Arataka.
Oh god. Actually, that's a bit better. That's a little
It's
bit
a bit
better.
better because that's a little bit further into his manga career.
Yeah, I think the Tatsumaki one is like way before. Oh my
Yeah.
god. I I'm not the best artist, okay? I'm not a
One's
great
art
artist.
really
If you
has
want to see
improved.
if you want to see my older art, you can look at if you go to Little Pet Frog, if you go to his ending screen, you'll see some old art of mine. It's pretty bad. It's not that bad. It's not Tatsumaki bad.
I don't know. Anyway,
Oh god.
Ray Zero is all about an otaku who gets isekai'd. What a surprise! And he thinks his special power, his only thing that he gets, is that whenever he dies, he returns to a previous point in his life. Well, not in his life, but in time.
Mhm.
And he must use this to. Anyway, so that's the show. He has no idea what he's doing, or who anyone is, or what anything is, or what he's doing, and he really pretends like he does. And that leads to a lot of problems because he is not a hero or even a heroic person. He is an otaku, so he is
Mhm.
entitled. And he needs to learn a lot about himself and how to be a better person, which
Mhm.
centrally is the story.
Yeah, unless you read the manga
The
or
manga is
the
the same.
light novels
There we
or
go.
yeah, it's the light novels.
Which
Unless you
is a
read the
lot.
light novels, and then it's a bit more confusing. It's a bit
Well,
more complicated than that.
it's much longer for one. There's only
Mhm.
2 seasons of the anime, I believe, and let me check.
Yeah, because the light novel, I've just seen fan art of the light novel. There's some shit going on. There's
What are we
some
to now?
There's a lot of lines. There's a lot of storylines. Basically, I think a lot of the light novel is a bunch of what if scenarios. I'm pretty sure.
No, there are a lot of what if scenarios, but that's something that he makes every year for April Fools.
Ah, okay.
Basically, on April Fools, which is Subaru's canonical birthday,
Okay.
because he's a joke, we
Yeah.
get to see what happens if he fails one of the sins.
Ah,
The
okay.
whole theme of the story is that at certain points, very pivotal points in Subaru's life, which progressively grow, he has to choose between two sins centrally. Or rather, a sin and a virtue. And every time he picks the virtue, because that's how the story works, and he has to grow as a person. The alternative is if he picks the sin, what happens? Which is what it is. That's, for
Gotcha.
example, like if he picks to be slothful, what happens to the story?
Mm-hmm. Also,
And they're little one shots.
I do want to say, it's gonna be a hot take for the anime community specifically. Maybe not for you. I Love Amelia wasn't that bad, and the anime community blew that way out of proportion.
Do you mean
Like
him
the actual
confessing?
scene, like the
Oh,
actual scene, I Love Amelia, when Rem confesses her love, partially to try to keep Subaru from fucking killing himself.
yeah, a big part of that.
But like the
So,
anime community fucking exploded. And like
yeah,
sure, it was dumb. And well, it wasn't dumb. It was understandable, but also understandably like God Subaru why.
I would
But
say there
like
are two
whatever.
big reasons why. The first one is that he's already gone this far, so besides sunk cost, and he's still very much attracted to her.
Mhm.
What he wants is not the easy path out, which certainly would have been her. It's not as though he doesn't like her, but he wants to be loyal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he decides to double down with the person that he fell in love with first,
Good.
because if he takes the easy path out now, it's slothful, and he might do it in the future as well if
Mhm.
someone easier than Rem comes along.
Yeah.
And two, Subaru is still immature,
Mhm.
and he can't find a better way to say that. He can't find a better way to let her down or resolve the situation than quite literally say, "No, I'm in love with someone else. I'm sorry."
Yeah. And like I understood that. But the entire anime community, however,
Yeah,
it was like
he's in.
their 9/11.
I guess so, but
Like it
yeah,
was God.
he's
Back in the
he's
day that was
immature.
crazy.
Like that's the
Yeah.
big thing.
He's
So
immature and he's a bit of an incel.
yeah, well, he is for a while. He gets better.
Yeah. Season 2, which I haven't seen. But yeah.
Yeah,
All
I'd
right.
say he gets better before Gluttony.
Gotcha.
Anyway,
All right. My favorite anime, and I think no, sorry. I think I might have another favorite anime at this point, but I feel like I have to I feel like I have like the sunk cost fallacy of like this has always been my favorite anime, so I have to stick with my guns kind of thing. But
justify it.
Black Rock
Justify
Shooter.
it. Dude. Justify it.
Black Rock Shooter.
Yeah,
Now,
justify it.
I know this is an anime that you fucking hated. Like you despise this anime.
I didn't despise it. I was just bored.
Yeah. Okay. So in the grand scheme of things and at the simplest level, it is about children learning how to control their emotions. Now, at the more complicated level, it is about epic fight scenes between these characters. Between these characters in another world where their emotions are represented as guns and swords, and the fight scenes are awesome. And my brain goes, "Ooh, haha, funny gun, funny cannon, funny arm cannon, funny explosions, cool architecture, and cool animation." And then it's like, uh, sad because like you can understand where the characters are coming from when you understand that like their actions make sense to them kind of thing in the moment because they're young, they don't understand how the world works, they don't understand like the bigger picture of life and everything, they just understand what's around them and what they've experienced, and things that don't seem really big to us at the time seem fucking massive to them. And it also has an air of like supernaturalism to it because the entire point, like the entire time, we think that the fight scenes and everything are just a representation, but it's really like happening in an actual other world. and that kind of gets confusing at the end of the story. But in the meantime, we have these characters who are trying to trying to figure out their emotions and try to figure out friendships. And you have a fucked up timeline where it goes over like one character who's abusing the other character because they don't know any better, basically. But yeah. I think it's just like it's not that complex. It's not like that super like uber deep of a story, but it's like it's deep in a simple way. It's like seeing the perspective of like I guess it's just the best representation of people's actions make sense to them kind of thing. I think that's what's interesting about it. And also the fight scenes are fucking sick. And you can't find
Basically,
any fucking footage of any goddamn fight on the internet, and it's so upsetting.
basically, what he's trying to say is that Black Rock Shooter is an anime for children and Nisa Monogatari advanced adult.
I'm so glad you're cutting out repeatedly, so I can't hear about your shilling of Nisa Monogatari.
Well, fuck you too, idiot.
We'll watch it
Get
eventually.
destroyed.
We'll watch it eventually.
We should.
Put it on the fucking list then.
I mean, fine.
Put it on your fucking list, man. Other favorite anime? I mean, as much as it's a basic thing to say, One Piece. Like,
I
yeah,
don't think it's basic.
it's
I
pretty
mean,
basic.
it is basic, but like,
It's pretty goddamn basic.
okay, it's basic in the way that chocolate is basic. Like, yeah, of course,
It's the basic in the way that Dragon Ball Z is basic, or like Naruto's
no,
basic.
no.
Yeah,
But like, Dragon Ball Z, I would say very much not, because unlike Dragon Ball Z and Naruto, well, no, to a certain degree,
it's basic
Naruto.
in the way that Bleach is basic.
No, I wouldn't say so. Out of the big three, I would say that in terms of like an actual story, One Piece is the best.
Okay, what I'm saying is liking One Piece.
Oh, I
Just the
guess.
opinion that I like One Piece is extremely basic.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, it's like saying I like Naruto or I like Dragon Ball Z or like I like Bleach. It's like of course you fucking like One
What if I
Piece.
hate it?
It's like whatever. What if
I
you
hate
hate
it,
it? Then
though?
of course you hate One Piece. Just like of course you hate Naruto. It's like it's either you love it because it's popular or you hate it because it's popular. It's like it's hard to have a nuanced conversation about it because One Piece is an actual good show. It's an actually really good show with really good writing, and this is gonna be upset a lot of people because I grew up watching Naruto. Naruto isn't. Naruto's writing fucking sucks. All right, I don't
Yeah.
know about Bleach though, since I haven't seen Bleach really, but Naruto's writing fucking sucks,
Yeah.
and so does Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah. All right, but that does seem like we are running out of time. So, any last words, any last messages for our audience?
I don't think so. I think my last message for the audience, stay tuned.
Yeah, yeah. As well as I do have a few messages. First off, I'm excited to be getting back into this, and this episode will be posted onto YouTube and Spotify by Sunday. By Sunday, at some point, as soon as I get the recording stuff and I get it all recorded and edited down and stuff. Additionally, me and Mandato will be doing a tier list once we finish Bloodborne and Sekiro, which is the two games that we're playing right now. We'll be doing a tier list of all of the bosses from those games. And I know, Mandato, you have some fucking opinions on the Bloodborne bosses, so I'm very excited.
I
for
wouldn't
that.
say that. That's kind of
I'd
strong.
say that. I'd say that. That's pretty strong. I'd say I will probably be mostly doing Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, and Elden Ring. You'll probably mostly be doing Sekiro and Bloodborne, but we'll be mixing a little bit here and there as well.
I guess.
Yeah. But anyways, stay tuned. And by Starlights, thank you for listening to the Degeneration Podcast. Ray, the podcast for the degenerate generation, will be signing off. By Starlights. Good night.